Well, good morning. I am super pumped up to be able to bring you this live event. It is definitely my passion these days to talk about the business and the opportunity and all the different facets of it and share with you how much I love my team and how obsessed I am with all the things that we're doing these days and how you can be a part of that with us. So I'm just going to cut to the chase and get right to it. I have a really basic presentation that I'm going to share my screen with you on. So we can kind of walk through the nuts and bolts of what it is that we do on Team Phoenix, a part of the number one team in the whole network, and what it means to be a business partner with Beachbody. So welcome. For those of you guys that don't know me very well, my name is Meggin Anderson, and I have been a Team Beachbody coach now for 9 years. In my previous life, my husband and I always like to say previous life, my husband and I owned our own commercial AV business. And what that means is we had a brick and mortar business. In the year 2000, we started our own company. It was an industry that I had grown up in. My father had his own business when I was a little girl in the 70s. He started that and was very successful throughout the 80s and 90s. And as a result, it was kind of like something I was born and bred into. And so in 2000, my husband and I decided to start our own similar business in that type of an industry. And we didn't have, this was before kids and things of that nature either. It was kind of like when you think back to how life has changed so much, it's super crazy. But we had a brick and mortar business. We lived in Massachusetts. I have grown up in Massachusetts my whole life. So we had an office in a business park and a fleet of trucks and employees and all the things. We housed inventory. It was a service-based business. So it was, really something amazing to be able to walk into some of these businesses and create solutions in the AV world. That means bars and restaurants. We designed sound systems and background music and televisions and things of that nature for bars and restaurants, retail, gyms, things like that. So that was my life for a lot of years. And in 2005, I had my first child. His name is Aiden. He is now 16 years old, which is totally insane. He's going to be 17 this fall, driving, which is both helpful and scary at the same time. So then things started to change. I always wanted to be a business owner. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I think in hindsight, I kind of thought maybe I would take over my dad's business or help him run it. But as time went on, things morphed and changed, and just doing our own thing was just the best opportunity at that point. So as soon as I had Aiden, 3 months maternity leave, however, 12 weeks, I can't even remember what the typical norm is. He went to my mother-in-law's to stay. So I went right back to work. I was in charge of the day-to-day sales and operations of our business, and my husband was in charge of the service and installation. So we literally were working around the clock, working from home, all the things. It was really incredible in the beginning. Like I said, I always want to be a business owner, but then as time marched on and we had kid number 2 and kid number 3, your priorities shift, right? And I kind of found myself at this place going into my 40s where I was like, what is this life for? And finding myself questioning, like, why are we having kids if I'm not even with them all day? They're all in daycare. We're kind of barely getting by, trying to take the business to the next level and just trying to survive paycheck to paycheck. So it was a hard time in our lives. Thinking back about it now, it was kind of crazy. I really didn't think about, I would often daydream. I would often sit there and say, what if there was something else, right? Or what, is there more? And at the same time, during all this, I always say, like, my story has 2 versions, right? There's the version of the business version of me, and then there's the transformation that I got with the programs and the products. So this like, and simultaneously these things are happening, right? So I have been working out at home to Beachbody programs for over 20 years, starting in the late 90s with some of their DVDs. It just worked for me. I was at a point where I needed to find something that I could save time with and be consistent with at home and stick like that habit with. And so I naturally gravitated to the at-home workouts. They kept putting out new content, every quarter or what have you. And it was just a perfect solution for me at that time, running our business, starting to have children, needing to lose the baby weight, right? Like, so all these things are happening simultaneously. Our goal was our business. But I had been doing this part of my life was a part of my life before the business started, right? So kind of these things were all coming together, and as you grow and change and more of 30s, 40 years old, right? Going into all that stuff. And so, Beachbody programs have helped me, be able to lose 80 pounds and be able to maintain that. I've also used the programs to step on stage not once, but twice for amateur bikini competition. It's like the confidence grew, all of that kind of stuff, like opened up these other doors for me, and so I would get up, crack a dawn before the kids, get my workout in, get it done, and then get them ready for their day. And then I would go on to, my job, being on the road, appointments, things of that nature. So at that point, 2012, 2013, I was starting to really start to question, like, what are we doing here? Right. I was so burned out. I was so stressed out, and I would often fantasize in the morning. How do I get on the other side of that screen? Right. I'm like, I don't have it in me to go back to school, to become a personal trainer. I just didn't have that extra time to do anything of that nature in order to get from A to Z. But how amazing it would it be to just wake up, do my workouts, schedule my day however I need to, and not have that rat race of, up at the crack of dawn, get the kids going, work all day hours. I race home to get the kids better, bed, dinner, bedtime, all that stuff. If you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about, that chaos around the evening, all then to just crash at the end of the night and then wake up and do it again the next day. And I was like, this is not what we were meant for. This is not what my purpose is about. I know I'm meant for more. I know I'm meant to do better things. I have all of these, like, this entrepreneurial excitement inside of me, but it was like what we were doing was like not passion. I wasn't passionate about it. Right. So, so it like this culmination, right? So I would say in about 2013 or so. And so again, this is like, I'm trying to like set the stage for you. Right. This was before social media. So Facebook was a thing back then, but I really was not on it a ton. And so Beachbody had these message boards. They would often have these, like, you could go and ask questions and talk to the experts and things of that nature, and talk about new programs with people. And that was where my then coach found me. And she said, she invited me to my first challenge group. And I was like, what is a challenge group? And she said, well, it's a group of people on Facebook. I have this group and they're all going to be doing the same thing. We were at the time going to be doing Les Mills Combat together, a 60-day program. And I was like, wait, you mean there are other people like me? I was floored. I just thought that I was the only person, like the only weirdo working out in her basement at home, doing my own thing, beating to my own drum, And when I found out that there was a whole group of women that were also doing the same thing at home, I was all in right away. I was like, what? Wait, there's more of me. I had found my people, and it was kind of like that missing piece of the puzzle of my fitness and my health journey. To be able to find these other, women that were just like me. And so I immediately was all in. I loved it. I loved the idea of that accountability, the group, the support, being a part of that community. It was like I said, missing piece of the puzzle, right? Not that I didn't have support at home, but I really just didn't have anybody that was local to me or in my friend circle that was into fitness like I was, right? Like I really loved those insanity workouts and P90X. I loved that stuff, right? So to find those people that were just like me, that was huge. It was a huge part of the missing piece. And I don't think it was too far in where my then coach started talking to me about the coaching opportunity. And when I discovered that you could build a business from running these groups and helping other women, matching them with these programs and helping them to get results, I was like, wait a second. Yeah, it was a no-brainer. I had just been thinking like, how do I get into this fitness arena? How do I become this person on the other side of the screen? Like this was my vehicle and my way in. And then when I understood a little bit more about the business model, that's when things really started to click for me. Our company that we ran, our commercial AV company, was built on recurring revenue, on passive income. So we sold background music systems, direct TV, and service contracts to bars and restaurants and retail. So that meant that customers paid a monthly service and we would go and service their products, or they would pay a monthly fee and we would sell them their background music system, whether it was a tape or a CD or a download or whatever the technology was. And that's when things clicked, because that, even though I was brought up in this industry of AV, I was brought up with the recurring revenue business model. And that was something that was drilled into me from a very early age when I started working for my dad out of high school. So that's when the wheels started turning. And then when I realized that I could have this business from home, I didn't have to have a brick and mortar like facility to go to. That means there's no rent, there's no utilities. I didn't have any overhead. I didn't have to have employees, but instead I share the business model with other women and they partner with me. Then they have their own business and I show them how to do the same. And it was, I mean, today when I think about it, it's like a no-brainer. It is such a fantastic business model. And it's something that I'm super passionate about sharing with so many people because of the fact of how duplicatable it is and how it can grow and be something lucrative for you and your family. Okay. So I kind of got ahead of myself on the slides, but, you know, I wanted to talk to you about my story, where I came from, why I'm so passionate, what this is all about for me. You know, being a coach, to me, when I first learned about being a coach, like, remember I was running our company and we had been doing this for 12, 13 years. And so I was like, how am I going to go from the president of our company in this business that I've been running for all this time and our customer base to doing this, right? And making that transition. So right away, I was thinking about the freedom. And that was really what drew me in. I was like, I can be the stay-at-home mom too, and be the business owner. And that was a big deal to me. I wanted to be able to still be able to, you know, provide that income but be there. Like, I remember when I was a kid, so my family background is like, my dad was an uber successful businessman from like the get-go of him marrying my mom. My mom was always the homemaker, right? And that time frame, it was normal for your mom to be the homemaker, right? And so she was always there for me after school, like all the things. And so I loved that. I loved remembering her being there when I got off the bus. And I thought about that so often. I would love to be the mystery reader at my kids' school. Like we have these children, like, how do I add value to their life by being their mother and being a business owner and providing that income, right? So freedom was the first thing I thought about. And that was my initial goal. I was like, I don't even care if I make any money at this. The flexibility and the freedom is key for us to be able to be involved with my children's life and our family. You know, certainly I was driven to build this fast. So it was a hard balance for me. When I came home in 2013, we had decided I had spent so much time, you know, focusing on training with this business. I think it was only like 30 days. And I said to my husband, this is, my heart is pulling me to do this. Like, I want to do this. And he's like, you know, if you want to come home and make this a business, and we'll take the kids out of daycare, you be the stay-at-home mom and you make this thing work. He's like, we'll figure it out. Right. So that's what I ended up doing in the get-go. And it was such a challenge to just be a stay-at-home mom in those beginning years. Like, I never even thought that I wanted to be a mom. And so to come all this way and realize that, you know, I can do and have all the things, but that they are my priority, right? Like, that's why I'm doing this today. This is my driving force, is them being able to offer and provide more. So that freedom was initial for me. And now that they're older, 16, 13, and 10, they have their own lives. And I'm able to now work this business in like normal business hours while they're in school. And my goals have changed into some other things. The freedom is there. I have that scheduling flexibility, purpose freedom, time freedom, location freedom, all of those kinds of things. my business, my terms, however I see fit. This week I actually took an amazing hike. I took the whole day off on Tuesday, went off with some of my friends from church, and we had an amazing day. And then, scheduling my business goals in for the rest of the week. And that's the beauty of it and how much the flexibility you have with it, right? And so essentially, when I first talk to people about the business model, they're not quite sure how network marketing works. I think people often have it in the back of their head that it's some kind of a scam, but it's been around for a long time. But I think why people have that connotation of it being some kind of a scam is because of the negative aspects of some of the other companies that have come up throughout the years. So some were scams, way back in the day. We're talking like the 80s, right? So that negative connotation has kind of been dragged through, but direct sales, social selling, network marketing, all legit business models. And today they have FCC regulations in place that companies have to follow in order to maintain a certain standard, right? And we actually have a lot of conversations with legal on an ongoing basis, because now with the onset of social media, there are things you can and cannot say. And I will actually see sometimes compliance will come in and say, look, this post isn't right. They are watching Facebook and social media because they want to be considered one of the, highest, top network marketing companies out there in our industry. So they'll flag posts that's, false claims, things like that. So you're never going to, have anything like that when you're part of being a partner with Team Beachbody. So being a partner means that, and then for those of you that might not know, I think most of you that are watching this have an idea of what Beachbody is, network marketing company, but they started off at home selling DVDs on infomercials late at night, right? Have come such a long way. It's so incredible when they think about all the different things throughout the years, from VHS to DVDs and to now on-demand streaming. We now offer nutrition programs. We went public last summer and combined businesses with Mixed Fitness to offer an indoor cycling option. We have access now to the Open Fit programming that's going to be coming onto our platform. We are slowly becoming a household name in streaming all across the United States, Canada, UK, France, and United Kingdom. Did I say that right? And it's just been an incredible journey, and they continue to grow and morph and change. The fact that we've added basic balanced nutrition programs, e-courses, and things of that nature, and then what the coaches come in and do are offer that accountability and support. So as a coach, you come to the table, you're partnering with Beachbody. So it works like you're a subcontractor, if you will. At the end of the year, you'd get a W-9. It's commission-based sales, but you're also partnering with the programs and the products. So if you're, you help someone with their goals and their needs as far as fitness, nutrition, and match them to the programs and coach them along the way. A big part of what I do is run these online accountability groups. As I mentioned in the very beginning, that was something that I was involved in. And now we have these exclusive apps. So on my phone, I actually have my accountability group that I serve. It's on the Beachbody On Demand app, and it's pretty cool. I can log right in. I have all my ladies here logging in. Okay. And again, it's exclusive. You can track your water, track your food. You access the workouts. You can access the live platform now. There's so much to be had. I'm super happy to be able to share more of that stuff with you guys as far as the details, but it's really what sets us apart from others in the industry, right? And if you're already a fitness professional, I feel like this is just going to help you to have that leg up in the industry, right? You have the ability to, have just another tool in your toolbox to offer your clients, right? So I'm also a group fitness instructor, and I'm also a certified precision nutrition coach. So I do work with people in many different capacities. Those weren't things that I did until after I became a coach for quite a few years before I started to say, I want to do this certificate. I want to know more. I want to get involved with this, right? But what I typically love to do is marry those things together. So when I teach group fitnesses classes, maybe I only see people a couple times a week, once or twice a week. And then the other times they're inside of our accountability groups. I'm helping them with nutrition. I might be helping them with some supplements. And then I'm definitely helping them with the accountability, right? Because And then the best part of it is that I see them in person then a couple times a week, once or twice a week, great too. So it's sort of like best of both world scenarios. And I truly feel that for me, it's about the person and their needs and their goals, right? And so I find out all of that stuff first and then match them to what the best is. If that's in person with me, great. If that's an accountability online scenario, great, right? And then if they're at home, they need, a workout of some kind, then that you can match them with that too. So I love being able to marry those two words together, those two worlds together for sure. Okay, so let's kind of go. I don't want to, take too much of your time today, but I want to make sure that I'm covering everything that we need to cover. And then if you have questions, you can come back at me later, and we can answer those things together. Okay, so Beachbody, being a coach is about three things: living a healthy and fulfilling life, inspiring others to do the same, and then supporting others on their journey. So a big part about being a coach and being a part of our team is being authentic and being a product of the product. So you are you are working out or diving in, committing to one of our programs, and doing that every single day. You are working on your nutrition, right? I always tell my new coaches that your job is your journey. So getting a transformation is going to be your number one priority. Another thing you'll always hear me say is that you are your first priority, and your health, your fitness, your personal development, your mindset, nutrition, it comes first before anything else. You need to be working on yourself first, because that is how you're going to make an incredible coach. Okay. One of the other really awesome things that I've never encountered with any other company before is that it is encouraged for you to spend at least 10 minutes a day in personal development. And I think in the beginning, when I first started, that was something that I thought, oh my gosh, I don't need self-help. I don't need this. I don't need that. I'm good the way I am. But what I didn't realize was how much more that really is. And how much that can change you. And I will still tell you that the biggest transformation that I have made has not been 80 pounds that I've been able to lose and maintain throughout this time, but it's been what's been between my ears. So we work on that a lot. We work on that in our teams, on our coach calls. And that's usually your other number one priority besides your fitness, because if you can't change the things between your ears, then the rest of everything else won't change. It won't follow. Right. And that rings true for your business too. Belief in yourself that you can do it, that consistency, those habits that take you every single day to success. Okay. And so you're living a healthy life, inspiring others to do the same. So sharing your journey. Right? So we talk about what it means to share our journey on social media. We do not want to be icky and gross and salesy. And so that is a big part of our training process, how we talk about how to build relationships with others, how to share ourselves on social media and not spam people and not, sell. It's not about Beachbody, right? It's not about Shakeology. It's not about for the products and things themselves. It's about your journey. It's about the benefits you're seeing. Why are you doing this? What is it doing for you? How is it helping you? And those are the things that we share with others, because those are the things that are going to inspire others. And I get a lot of times people will say, well, there's so many coaches, like it's the market's saturated. No. Do you know that there's billions of people in this world, right? But really about inspiring and sharing is about setting yourself apart from other people. So you have a story to tell. You have a reason why you're here or you want to change, right? Maybe it's an illness. Maybe it's you went through a tragedy. Maybe it's you're a mom with a specific scenario. Whatever it is that sets you apart and makes you different, those are the things that you share, because that's how you're going to get your people to come and find you. And we will get into that as far as training and things. And then the last part of that is supporting others on your journey. I mentioned that we have that app. So there's a lot of different ways to provide support to others, but the groups seem to be the most successful. It used to be Facebook groups back in the day, and I do still do some of that. But we also have that exclusive app that I mentioned. And then there's many other ways too. You could do message pods on WhatsApp, or you could do Messenger. Like there's a lot of different ways that you can support others. And that's just the fun part, is being able to support them along the way, guiding them through the tools and the resources, and helping them to find success and be successful. So have some cool different opportunities that I've been able to be a part of over the 9 years. We had, COVID set in. So a lot of the live events we were taken from us, right? Just a little glimpse of my 2-decade-long transformation. I can't even believe that. So this is the second time I jumped on stage. These are all my kiddos when I first got started. They were kind of young there. Me at my heaviest after kids, and then a couple of different transformations there along the way. And then this is part of our team, our bigger team, actually, these two ones. This was both summit, this is the super workout. And then this was when we were in the arena listening to some of our speakers. That was just so incredible to meet them. So we are part of Team Phoenix is my team with my personally sponsored coaches. And then we are also part of the number one team in the network right now. And so in 2021, and we're on track for 2022, number one team in all of Beachbody. So these are the girls from that. This is Angie here is the leader of our team Uproar, and these are the coaches, and I'm way in the back there. It's hard to see, but that is the Summit Super Workout, a sea of pink, and we're actually getting ready to go again in middle of July. They finally opened up. It's our first live event in a super, super long time. Let's see. I thought I had more pictures. Maybe not. Yeah, I do. Okay, but we'll get there. So it was so super great to meet these ladies in person. The live events, they're just unlike anything else, because this business, primarily you're on your own at home doing your own thing. And so the energy and the experience that you get from being with your people in person is just unlike anything I've ever imagined or explained in my life. Okay, so partnering with Beachbody, let's see. So lots of perks, definitely, for sure. We've got weekly prizes, recognition and prizes, and income in the trips and the live events, as I mentioned. So the recognition, you have ability to earn prizes and monthly recognition, which is great. There's company trips, there's trainings, there's all kinds of different things. So basically we have these benchmarks that we talk about, and it's essentially earning or helping 3 people every single month consistently. And you earn points for different aspects of that. And then you earn the trips. We have team retreats. We have the summit that I mentioned. And we also have live quarterly events. So each quarter we have what we call super weekend. So depending on where you live in the country, you have events that are local to you. We just usually have links. Whoever's setting those events up, you can go in and just attend. And those are amazing. I actually host the one in the Boston area with our Mass Market Council, slowly ramping things up again after COVID, but they're getting there. And again, same thing, live events, non-negotiable for me and my team. I encourage everyone that they need to attend all those live events. It's a must for your business. Absolutely. We do get paid weekly, so that's pretty cool. And I feel like, it's just such a boost to know that you're getting paid every single week for helping people see results, right? And I often will hear and say that your income is a direct reflection of how many people that you've helped in the month. Here we go. Okay, so there are more pictures. So this is our Massachusetts super event that we had up here. This is Joel Freeman. He is the creator of Lift 4, Core to Force. And we were lucky enough to have him come out and train us live that day, which is so, so awesome to work with the super trainers. They go from seeing them on your screen to being with them in person. And then down here, I was actually in Orlando in April, and he was there at that one, which was a coincidence, but super awesome because we have this brand new program, Lift More, coming out. The sample workout will be available Monday. I cannot wait for that program to start in July. This middle one here was National Leader Conference. So when you get to a certain rank in your business, you are invited to NLC, and you're treated like gold. They put you up. This was in Las Vegas. They paid for our room. I think I just had to pay for the flights to get there. And these are all of my one-star family of coaches. We worked out with the new super trainer at that point. We had dinner. This was the same event. So these are some other girls from our team. And it was just awesome to have this recognition behind us. They treated us to dinner and fun nights out and some games. And it was just such an incredible bonding experience for that weekend. But that was an incredible leadership conference to earn. So you had to earn your way to get there. And it was absolutely rewarding. Let's see what we got here. All right. So who is Team Phoenix? My team that I created, right? So we're going to kind of just go into frequently asked questions that I get. So, people, I think a big one are like selling to your friends and your family. It's not about that. And I feel like this has a lot to do with, creating that social media, creating your own transformation and sharing it. And that's, we actually have a list of things that we work from, but these are what we call our vital behaviors: is working on yourself first, making yourself your first priority, sharing that on social. And what typically happens is a lot of it happens organically. Your friends and family certainly will be the first to notice what you're doing and probably start asking you. But really is so much more than that. And when you're inspiring and motivational and passionate about what you do, people naturally just gravitate to that. So, that's not really something that you have to really concern yourself with, that just your friends and your family, and social media has come such a long way that things are so much different now. And I love that we are, like I said, we are part of the number one team in the network. And so as a result of that, we have access to this incredible training team university. So the top coaches, the top 10 coaches, half of them are on our team, created this website and this training course, basically giving you the blueprint and the keys to the kingdom on how they became successful and what that looks like and the steps in order to get there. So, again, it doesn't happen overnight. One of the things that I will say is you have to give this business time. It's not a get rich quick anything. You should plan on, if you're wanting it to be a lucrative business for you, then you have to treat it like a business. And so therefore you're working on your business every single day, much like I would drive into my office and, pick up the phone when the calls came in. You're driving into your back office, sitting in your computer and working your business every single day. And it will become a lucrative business for you. And then, so let's see, do I need a lot of free time to be successful? I think that the biggest misconception is that you have to work this business 24 hours. And again, network marketing has gotten a bad rap because of things and misconceptions that people have heard or gone through over the years. I feel like it stems way back from like the 80s, late 90s, right? Where it was like a new thing. And I often say to people, like, what you don't know, right? So I love to be able to educate people on what the business model is, exactly what it looks like, and basically just open it all up for question, because so many misconceptions of what people think. So anyways, we don't work our business 24. I mentioned in the beginning that the biggest draw for me was the freedom and the flexibility. So even though I don't also have a full-time job, in addition to this, a lot of people come into the business who do. So a lot of coaches on our team have their nurses or teachers or, have full-time careers, and they do this business in pockets of their day. The thing that I teach my team, and a lot of times we'll drill home, is we work on time blocking, we work on being intentional and focused, so that you kind of have all the things and make time for all the things that are important and that are a priority to you, like this business. Do I need to be a fitness expert? So some of our most successful coaches that are on our team actually started off as customers, and they got invited to their challenge group. They started their program. They committed from day one to day whatever, fell in love with the whole process, got an incredible transformation, and then naturally started sharing that with other people. And that's typically how most of the coaches in our industry are most successful, just because it's like it happened organically, right? There are definitely people that have come into this business for the business opportunity. I was one of them. I would have been here, whether it was, I love the programs already, but my mind worked that way, that I was drawn into the business model for sure. There's absolutely a lot of personal trainers, a lot of coaches, a lot of group fitness instructors, fitness professionals who come in and then see this as another vehicle to help their clients. So it kind of runs a gamut, but you do not need to be an expert, because the cool thing about it is when you come in, everything is already created for you. So even though I'm a group fitness expert, I would not like reinvent the wheel by creating choreography, right? That has already been done. We take our programs and match them to a person's need. I don't have to teach them. I don't have to get up and, teach those classes to them. They just push play on their workout every single day. They follow a calendar. They're designed and created and built in with rest and stretching and all the things. And when you follow the programs and you follow the meal plans that go with some of that stuff, you see results, right? So I don't have to make meal plans. There's a ton of resources for that. So I feel like, even though I do have that knowledge and experience behind me, you don't have to reinvent the wheel in that way. So you do not have to be an expert, because Beachbody is full of experts who have already created all of the tools and resources for us to use. Oh, do I have a large following on social media? So this is good, because I kind of said this in the beginning, right? So when I first started, like Facebook was just emerging. And so I think I had Facebook, but I probably only had like a couple hundred followers. And I really didn't know how to use it or anything. And Instagram wasn't even invented yet, which is a crazy thought. I think Twitter was there. So everything, and also to back up, the business model that I had before was knocking on doors and phone calls. So you remember I drove to my office, there was email, but very later in the game, everything was literally door to door. So it was a big learning curve for me to get on social media and understand how that worked. Made a ton of mistakes out of the get-go. But again, everything that I've learned, or everything that you see today is through trainings. And I can't say enough about the resources that we have from the top 10, coaches that are in our network. Additionally, they are social media gurus. They're a little bit younger than I am. So a lot of them were born into social media and have already established large followings. And they are in our training universities teaching us how to go about building and creating. And I have a ton of resources for my own team too. There's really no lack of resources when it comes to social media and learning and training. The other thing that I will say too is you're never going to know everything, just because technology and time and things change all the time in this industry. And what that makes it exciting and fun. So, as you, and I always, it's parallel to the fitness, right? And I think about this all the time, like the failures are, and the things that you go through that are setbacks actually end up helping you to be more successful, right? Every time you fall off the wagon with your nutrition, you're like, oh, I'm never going to do that again. And then over time, you start to feel like you have more energy and you're more focused because you're eating more healthier foods, right? And so it just comes with experience, right? And time. And again, like I mentioned before, it's not a get rich quick anything. For me, in my business, that when I first started, there wasn't a plan B, like this was going to work. This was what I was going to do. And I never had a second thought of giving up. Even 9 years later, after all the things that I've gone through in this business, it never occurs to me to give up. It never occurs to me to say, I'm done, I'm out. Even when like I have weeks where things aren't working the way I need them to be. I just learn how to pivot, or I learn, okay, this isn't working. How do I change? This isn't working. What else do I do? So if you're watching this and you're thinking about coming into the business, I would at least be having that mindset of 5 years or more. that this is going to be something that you work on. Do people make it work faster and slower? Yes. Like it really comes down to your efforts, diligence, and skill, what you want to put into it. Right. But the really cool thing is that we have, besides myself and the other leaders on the team, I can help to steer you in the right direction as far as what those goals are for you. So you don't have to have a big following. That's something that you grow over time, and you want to grow it the right way too. I feel like I made a lot of mistakes with that. Like I have a huge following on my Facebook business page, but a lot of that I accumulated the wrong way. I went through a training and it kind of like backfired on me. So, the right ways to grow, and slow growth is the best growth, right? Like I feel like also the mentality, it used to be, how many likes can I get? How many followers can I get? It really today is about the quality and talking and building relationships with one person at a time. What happens is once you learn how to develop relationships and make connections on social media, then your posts and your pictures support those conversations. And that's essentially what it does. It's not really about how many likes can I get from this post today or how many comments can I get. Those are great. But the real meat and potatoes of this business is creating connection and talking to people one-on-one, one at a time, and not in mass quantities. No hey girl messages, no hey spammy, anything, right? And so I think we already talked about this being, we already said that, fitness expert. How do I earn income? Okay, so sorry, that was a typo. How do I earn income? Okay, so this is really, there's a couple different ways to earn, and I'm actually going to put the compensation plan video inside of our Facebook group so that you can watch that from corporate, because I hate to mess it up when we start to get into the detail. Essentially, there's two ways to earn. You have your retail sales. You have the commission that you make, 25% commission, 20 to 40% actually, from all of the products and services that we sell, Shakeology, and Beachbody On Demand, and all the supplements that we offer, apparel, all the subscription pricing, base products, your live programming, things like that. And the cool thing about the retail pricing too is that you're not only earning those commissions, but you have the ability to earn that over and over and over, month after month. So say somebody subscribes to Shakeology and they're getting that every 30 days. So you make your subscription, you make your commission in month 1, and then month 2, if they keep it, you make it again. And you make it again in month, like as long as they're a customer, you continue to accumulate that recurring revenue, right? And then, so for example, if you're helping 3 people a month, which is your minimum benchmark, you're making, let's say $30, $60, $90 in commissions the first month, right? And then in the second month, you do that again, 30, 60, 90, but then you also have those 3 people from the month before. So now that's 180, right? And then you see how that can compound. And that's just one aspect, right? I would say that my biggest commissions from retail come from the Beachbody On Demand subscription. That quarterly, there's monthly, there's annual renewals. And those things are just happening while we're sleeping, right? So that's kind of a cool recurring subscription there. And then the other part of how we earn is by building a team and teaching other coaches how to do the same thing. So as a team, we earn what we call volume, and it's a number of points that we make accumulative. So being part of the #1 team in the network, our volume is huge. So just by being a part of the team, you have the ability to earn bonuses and commissions and things based on some of that volume. You earn different bonuses from however many people that you add to your team. There's all different structures just based on how you grow and how many women become a part of your organization. And it's pretty cool when you think about it. And there's a lot of cool trainings to unlock the income potential on something like this. So I'm happy to share that with you as well. But it can be pretty lucrative. I will say that Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success. It is your own diligence, skill, and your effort. So the amount of time that you put in, the amount of focused energy that you put in, and those are all things that we can talk about one-on-one and that are part of our trainings and things of that nature. But so it's super exciting that there's so many different facets of making bonuses and earning income. You can, earn a decent living from the commissions, but where the income really starts to grow is when you build and grow your organization individually. And that's what I'm here to help you with as well. Okay. Okay. So in getting started, right. And then one of the other things I will say is, before we kind of dive into this part is, there is a membership fee. So as a coach, you pay a $15.95 a month membership fee. This covers all of your trainings, your marketing, your back office, your website, the reporting, customer service is included. You don't have to hold any inventory. So your customers order and it ships right from Beachbody. So they handle all the shipping, all the inventory, all of that stuff. I mean, when you think about what Beachbody does and how they support us for $15.95 a month, it's kind of insane. From my standpoint, when I first started my business, my investment, we started off with like $100,000 loan, right? And we had to get inventory every single month. We had to house that stuff. Like, it was an insane amount of cash flow that had to be coming through the business in order to sustain what we were doing. I handled customer service, and I handled shipping, and I handled postage, and I did all of those back end things, right? So, and then the other, comparison that I like to make is think about this as a franchise, right? Like a McDonald's or a box gym or something else of that nature. You pay huge fees to have, McDonald's franchise, right? But then you're also subject to their marketing and their rules and their guidelines, right? The cool thing about what we do is that you're branding yourself. You can create your group however you like. You can talk about Beachbody on demand in your own words, your own streaming platform, right? You brand yourself, and there are no rules to this business. You run the business however you like. We just offer guidelines, instruction, training, but you can run with that, right? And for $15.95 a month, that's pretty incredible. And then your investment is only $160. That's like the base pack to get in. It's going to include access to Beachbody on demand for an entire year. There's all the programs and content that Beachbody has ever created. You get the basic nutrition plans with that. You get some supplements to try. You can choose whether it's our signature product, Shakeology, our performance line, or a mix of some of the other things. We have this new Glow and Go pack. For those of you that don't know about Shakeology, just quickly, it's our premier superfood smoothie shake. It comes in 9 flavors now. We've got vegan and whey. But the really cool thing about Shakeology is that it helps people bridge the gap on the foods that they're not getting in their grocery cart, right? We've had environment's been stripped, and we have pesticides and all kinds of stuff. And you could go crazy and go broke by trying to fill your grocery cart with all the things that our body needs in order to function and survive the right way. Shakeology has so many benefits, and I'm happy to share any ins and outs about Shakeology with you. But by now, a lot of people have heard about it and have experienced its benefits. I mean, I've been drinking it for 9 years. It's super crazy. I actually crave it. Which is, I'm getting ready to have it very shortly here, but I actually crave it. And it just feels just so good to a part of your day. So $160 investment, I feel like it's a drop in the bucket compared to what other new business owners would invest into their program. And then you also will get live access. So you could do a 30-day free trial and then pay $19.95 a month, or upgrade and get all 12 months of our live platform. So this is pretty cool. This is where our cycling programs are. And then we have these live classes that you can take and then be a part of the podcast, which is super fun. I absolutely love being a part of the podcast. So having the best of both worlds has just been an incredible addition to Beachbody On Demand over this last year to almost 2 years now. Okay, so what's next? Okay, so get with the coach that invited you to this event and talk about the best solution that's going to be for you as far as getting started. I feel like this is one of those opportunities where you have the ability to just dream big. This business can be so much for someone. I feel like it's for anyone who wants to get started and has that entrepreneurial spirit, wants to grow, but is also driven and determined to just be more. A big part of what we talk about on Team Phoenix is that the philosophy of something bigger calling us to our purpose, that we were all created and put here for something bigger than us, and coming together with determined, hardworking business leaders, women who are just excited to, take their business to the next level, take their careers to the next level, and all while working on themselves and helping others to the same. It's just an absolute incredible feeling to be able to fill your cup every single day with these kinds of women, to be a part of this community, but also to work hard and, find those other entrepreneurial spirits to drive the business home. And I'm excited to do this with you. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I would love to share anything else that I might have missed or clarify any questions that you guys have. I can't wait to hear from you. And yeah, I guess that's it. Let me try to stop thinking. I'm stuck here, and then there we go. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And I cannot wait to talk with you about getting started with our team. Thanks, guys. Bye.